Most people that go to the airport have a ticket. I don't have one. Hi, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist, and I'm trying to get to Fort Lauderdale, Florida to go on vacation with my family. Now, what is flying for free in non-rev travel? Well, if there's space on the airplane, we get a seat for free as an airline employee. Who can do this? Well, my wife and kid, they get unlimited free travel on my airline and our express feeders. If we want to go on a different airline, we can. It's a small fee. It's called Z Travel. And again, it's unlimited for us as a family. I will not get into buddy passes and everything else. I'm just talking about my core family. Now, again, we get free travel on my own airline. We call it Kirkland Airlines and Kirkland Express. It's unlimited, it's free as long as there's an open seat. Paying passengers always go first before non-revenue employee passes. Now, flight to Fort Lauderdale serviced by Boeing 737. We'll call it a 900. There's 186 seats total on the airplane. Now, looking at all the flights, they're color-coded, even on my employee website. First flight of the day is booked full. Second flight of the day is overbooked by 190 passengers. Tickets sold, 186 seats total on the airplane. The next flight has 6 open seats. The fourth flight is booked full. The fifth flight of the day is wide open. The number in parentheses, that's the number of non-revs trying to go on each flight. Now, why would 10 non-revs go on a flight that's booked full? Sorry, the first flight of the day. Because you guys, as paying passengers, miss flights all of the time. Flat tires, you woke up late, you didn't get to the airport in time, whatever. So there's a good chance they'll get seats on that flight. Now, second flight of the day, overbooked by 4. Why would the airline overbook a flight by 4? Because you guys miss flights all of the time. Now, the third flight of the day has 6 open seats. So everyone shows up. People that couldn't be accommodated can be accommodated, or people that were late can then be accommodated on the third flight. If everyone actually, shows up, well, too bad for the non-revs. But there's a chance on my noon flight, which I'm trying to go on, that I could get a seat. There's 6 open seats. Now, as a pilot, I can sit in the flight deck jump seat with the captain's permission. It's not guaranteed. I can make a reservation for this seat, but it's not guaranteed. There's always someone who could bump me off as far as an FAA inspector or a check airman. At my airline, we do not use seniority for anything for non-rev at all, period. Now, on this day, again, they have real seats. So we're hanging out, getting ready to go up to the Capital One Lounge. I have a Capital One Venture X card. I love this credit card. It gives us access to many lounges, including this wonderful, nice Capital One lounge in my airport. Free food, free alcoholic beverages, even though I've never had an alcoholic beverage here because I'm always worried about sitting in a jump seat. But it's a nice perk of the credit card. Now, as far as how seats are handed out to non-revs, at my airline, we use time of check-in, meaning you could be a new hire hired yesterday. And if you use the same travel pass type as myself and check in before me, you get a seat before I do. And it's down to the millisecond. If you check in a millisecond before I do, you get a seat before me. Is it fair? I think it's fair. This is my personal opinion. I don't think seniority-based non-rev makes sense because you have to wait years, decades, in order to use your benefits reliably. At this airline, it's time of check-in. Whoever checks in first gets the seat first. Now, I do have, per person, 6 high-priority vacation passes that put us in a step higher than the general free travel. But beyond that, everyone travels at the same classification. Now, got to the gate. Again, my wife and kids had real seats. I am hanging out with the gate lights. Why you guys hang out, standing in the aisle before the boarding starts? You know where your boarding group is. We're all going to the same place. I don't get it. Thankfully, I was booked into the flight deck jump seat. The jump seat has very little leg room. It's a very hard seat, but it is a seat going in the right direction toward Fort Lauderdale so I can go on a cruise with my family. Again, it's tight. It is what it is. Again, I asked the permission from the captain to occupy the jump seat. The captain controls the jump seat. But here I am, all buckled in. I did have to build my seat. Long flight to Fort Lauderdale, got there just fine. Got off the airplane after first class, and I met my family in the terminal. Again, it cost me $0.00. I could have bought a ticket at a discount like my family. We get a pretty good discount off a real ticket, but I like to save my money. I'm a betting man. But that is non-rev travel as far as how families do it. I will not get into the particulars about how buddy passes work. That is too complicated. But keeping it simple, if we fly anywhere in the United States, out and back is always free. Now, if we go to like Mexico, there might be some small charges outbound and back inbound. You fly to Europe, it's free, except for coming back, you do pay taxes. It's a very small fee. My wife gets on to me about, it might cost us $150 per person to come back from London, but it's like that's nothing compared to a real ticket. Uh, it's a nice perk to have. Now, again, flights are much more full these days. Before COVID, we had a lot more open flights. We flew a lot more. With flights being so full, if we have to be somewhere, we buy tickets for the family. Over the course of my career, the amount was spent on tickets versus free tickets is a very small amount. But let's say we wanted to go somewhere where my airline does not fly. Let's say we wanted to go to Norway, Oslo, Norway. We could fly on my own airline, Des Moines to London, and then get a Z pass to go on like British Airways from London to Oslo. Um, in the zonal employee discount, Z Pass, it's the exact same fee no matter who operates that flight. So a better example would be if you want to go from LA to London, that is serviced by multiple airlines, including my own. I could buy a Z Pass and the fee would be the same to fly on Delta, United, American, Virgin, British Airways, whoever else operates that leg. It would be the exact same fee. It's to any for any employee worldwide as long as the airlines have a agreement between the two. And for the most part, most airlines around the world have a Z agreement so that you can fly on other airlines for the same fee. Non-rev travel, it is very complicated. There's a giant guide from my airline that I give us to learn how to do non-rev, and even then, you kind of learn by trial and error. Sometimes we have never been stuck. The worst we've ever had as a employee was we were trying to go from to Sacramento one time, and they had a last-minute gate change terminal change. We rushed, just my wife and I, we had no kids at the time, rushed to the gate, got seats in first class because like over half the airplane didn't show up to the gate on time because the terminal change. Door closed, then we agreed to push back, and then the APU failed. Yeah, everybody had to deplane, and there were all the passengers waiting, and we got left behind because they go first. Anyways, short video about non-rev travel. Have a great day, and as always, thank you for stopping by.